You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is my final Oscar predictions live stream video, whatever it is at the time you are watching. The point is, tonight, we are here to give my final predictions for each and every Oscar category at the 2023 Academy Awards. Now, if you are new around here, just happen to stumble upon this video or live stream, make sure to click that like down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what's going on with me tonight. I'm just so nervous. I'm jittery. We've got the pen and the paper ready, but the predictions are shaky, okay, y'all? So my mind is everywhere. I've been racking my brain trying to figure out what to pick in so many of these categories because in honesty, this is one of the most unpredictable Academy Awards seasons to date. Now, of course, we have a ton of categories that are locked up, but we have just as much or maybe even more categories that are completely up in the air. It is basically a coin toss. It is anybody's guess. You can give 3 different nominees in so many of these top categories, and all of them have a really viable chance at taking home that Oscar gold. So, let's get things started. Well, hello, Jaden. Hi, Tom. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. Hopefully, you all will be sharing your predictions in the comments as we move throughout these categories. Well, we're going to start off with probably the hardest ones each and every year. It actually doesn't matter how difficult this season is when it comes to Oscars. The shorts programs are always the hardest to predict because they have the least amount of precursors. We don't get short film awards given out at most of the big ceremonies. So determining which one is taking home, you kind of have to take a shot in the dark, go by buzz, go by distributor, how easily they're accessible. So the first category we'll be discussing is Best Documentary Short Film. The nominees are The Elephant Whisperers, Haul Out, How Do You Measure a Year, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Stranger at the Gate. Now, for my pick on who should win this award, it's Haul Out. I really enjoyed this documentary short. I found the environmental message to be delivered with such subtlety that it was refreshing. It didn't beat you over the head with it, but it was so effective in how it delivered that message. So if I were voting in the Oscars, who I think should win Best Documentary Short, Haul Out. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case. Honestly, I think it could go any which way with several of these. I don't think Haul Out is going to win, and I don't think How Do You Measure a Year is going to win either. I think you really could choose between The Elephant Whisperers, The Martha Mitchell Effect, and Stranger at the Gate. Now, Netflix has 2 of these, The Elephant Whisperers and The Martha Mitchell Effect, so they are wide distributed, heavily out there. However, I'm actually going to pick my least favorite one in this category to be my who will win. And my pick, my final prediction for the documentary short program is Stranger at the Gate. I think it's a little bit problematic in its messaging, particularly as we round that corner. I did enjoy how it set up one tone and then does a cool shift to a different story midway through. It just didn't do it quite effectively for me, and I think we've got a little bit muddled. But guess what? The Academy is full of older white folks, and there's nothing older white folks like more than a questionable racial story that can make them feel good. A nice everybody's in this together type of story. So I think they're going to vote for Stranger at the Gate. Hello, The View with Drew. Thanks for stopping in. Kenzie. Hello, Kenzie. Yes, we have the same pick on this one. I watched the Martha Mitchell one during South by Southwest. Yeah, it was really entertaining and really good. Killing some time before my Ant-Man screening. Hi, Daniel. Thanks for stopping in. So one award down. Best documentary short, Stranger at the Gate. Now, best animated short film, we have The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. The Flying Sailor, Ice Merchants, My Year of Dicks, and An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I think I believe it. And I was really torn. My top two were like my clear top two in this category. I loved My Year of Dicks, and I loved An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I think I believe it. I think they are both so fantastic, really well done, and completely unique to this animated short program. And if I were voting, who I think should win this award is My Year of Dicks. The animation for the main story was okay to me, but they utilized so many different styles of animation to tell this story. It was a really personal story. It was funny. It was profound. I thought it worked really well. So my who should win, my Year of Dicks. Now, when it comes to who I think will win, I do think My Year of Dicks has a chance. I think, though, it's coming down between The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, Ice Merchants, and An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and I think I believe it. Now, obviously, I'll be pulling for the ostrich film if it does come down to those three. But once again, for the second short category in a row, I'm actually going to pick my least favorite as my final prediction on who I think will win. And I'm gonna go with The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. It has a BAFTA, it has an Annie Award, it's got that Amazon power behind it, it has that British power behind it. It looks beautiful. It is a beautiful animated short film. It is just very in your face. That messaging is like afternoon school special turned all the way up to 1,000. And yeah, that script, I didn't love it. I didn't love the script. It was my least favorite of the bunch this year, but I just think that it feels like the Academy Award winning choice. So, who I think will win Best Animated Short is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Now, moving right along to Best Live Action Short, we have An Irish Goodbye, Ivalu, Le Pupille, Night Ride, and The Red Suitcase. Now, I actually think this was a great year for the live action short films. I think all five of these were actually really solid and an improvement upon last year's nominees for me personally. Now, who I think should win, my personal pick, is actually Night Ride. Once again, kind of like with Haul Out, it delivers its message very clearly, but without being too preachy. It's just entertaining. It's fun. It's funny. It really showcases two different groups who are heavily discriminated against in an effective manner that worked for me. I had a blast with the short film, and it's definitely my pick on who should win for live action shorts. However, I don't think it will win. I think it's a little bit too easy breezy. It's too kind of cute to take home that prize in the end. So when it comes to best live action short, I really think it's between An Irish Goodbye and Le Pupille. Obviously, Le Pupille has an Academy Award winning famous director producing and behind this film. And it's available wide on Disney Plus. It has the Mouse House behind it, pushing it. And then An Irish Goodbye also has a nice wide release strategy. And we've seen a big Irish push at this Academy Awards. It was doing well at the BAFTAs. So ultimately, I'm really torn on this one. But I am going to pick An Irish Goodbye as my final prediction for Best Live Action Short. All right, next up, we have Best Original Song. So we have Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Natu Natu from RRR, and This Is the Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once. So if you've been watching the precursors, one has definitely been running away with this, and that is Not To. And that is my pick on who should win this award, certainly. RRR, we were all hoping it might get some more love from the Academy, be a bigger player in this whole thing, and it just didn't manifest. And unfortunately, it just got the one nomination. But when you look at this whole lineup, what's the song that plays in the film? What's the song that actually is part of the narrative? That's the song that should win, and that is Not To, Not To. Also, it's really impressive as a music structure. The way it's formatted is really intricate, and obviously, when you get the actual scene, it just all works. So that's definitely the one that should win. Though my personal second pick is "Hold My Hand" by Lady Gaga. I love a good '80s power ballad, y'all. What can I say? Now, when it comes to who will win, I do think "Lift Me Up" is probably second place. It has an off chance, but I'm feeling pretty confident. I think that Not To gets the one single award for fan favorite RRR come Sunday evening. So that's my pick on who will win Best Original Song. Now, one that is having me rack my brain. We have Best Original Score, one of my favorite categories, personally. So the nominees for Best Original Score are All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fablemans. So when it comes to who I think should win this award, well, it's somewhat easy here. I really think Babylon should win this award. That score just slapped. It was up there for one of my favorite scores of the year. Probably my favorite score of the year. I loved Women Talking score. I loved All Quiet on the Western Front score as well. And I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once score. And Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio score as well. But there's just this energy. It's by far my favorite part of Babylon is the score. So that's my pick on who should win. Oh, I see some Lift Me Up love here and some Everything Everywhere love for Best Original Score from Daniel. Okay. Well, when it comes down to who I think will win, this is one of the categories I do not think EEAO will be taking home. The Fablemans, John Williams, we just love you, but this is not the year for you either. And the Banshees, thanks for showing up, but thanks, you're not winning. So it comes down to All Quiet on the Western Front and Babylon. Oh, yes, I don't know how I forgot that because this is what should be in the driver's seat for this award right here. The Batman should be the odds-on favorite to win the whole damn thing. Oh, so Kenzie's hanging on to Babylon. I've been going back and forth all day long. This is one where I had Babylon and I felt good about it. And then I just thought, I was like, that BAFTA is really causing me pause compared to the Golden Globe, obviously. And I wish I held strong like you, Kenzie, but ultimately I flip-flopped. I had to do it. I flip-flopped. The All Quiet on the Western Front pushed me to pick All Quiet on the Western Front for Best Original Score. I think it's going to pick up a few awards come Oscars night. And obviously, it's not going to do what it did at the BAFTAs, where it just, annihilated everyone. But I think this is one that it sneaks, especially awkwardly. Best Original Score actually has a really strong tie to Best Picture nominees. The winner of this category most times is nominated for Best Picture. So on top of the BAFTA win, All Quiet has that going for it, where Babylon doesn't. I'll be so happy though. If Babylon takes it, I'll be hyped. We have two people predicting Babylon here, Kenzie and Jaden. But I'm sorry, Babylon Hive. I have to pick All Quiet on the Western Front. All right, Best Makeup and Hairstyling. Our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. So, probably not the popular pick, and probably due to the fact that I'm a fanboy for this film. It was my second favorite film of the year. my pick on who should win is the Batman. Okay, I'm sorry, not sorry. If I were voting, I'd be voting for the Batman. Not only did we have the prosthetic work, obviously, everything done with Colin Farrell in the Batman is right up there with the other prosthetic works in this category. Actually, I think it's better than the prosthetic works done in the other films that utilize prosthetics in this category. But I think the other makeup outside of the prosthetics is also fantastic. It's moody, it's great. It sets up this world so beautifully. Honestly, I think as a well-rounded piece, the Batman has the best hair and makeup in my book. Unfortunately, I don't think it has a shot in hell at winning. So it wins in my book, but it's not taking home that dang Oscar. So who I think has a shot? All Quiet, you're out of the running. Goodbye. The Batman, I think you're done for. I do think Black Panther Wakanda Forever is probably a third place right now. It has a shot at this thing, but really the ones we've been coming down to, it's The Whale versus Elvis. And for me, this one's actually a pretty easy one to predict. I think Elvis is taking home best makeup and hairstyling. The Whale is really dependent only on Brendan Fraser, whereas Elvis just has so much more. Yes, it has the prosthetics, obviously, with Austin Butler near the end of the film, but it has so many different characters. It goes through so many different, looks with the makeup and the hairstyling, the makeup just in general to make Austin Butler look as much like Elvis as he does is really great work as well. So this is one I'm not going to be mad if Elvis takes home. And I think ultimately Elvis is taking home best makeup and hairstyling. Yeah, they're the safe choice. But I'm so happy to see the Batman love here in the chat. And yes, Elvis has the most guild wins so far. It won 2 categories at makeup and hairstyling. It got like the trifecta there. Obviously it also got the Critics' Choice. It's taking home this award, y'all. The Whale might be the upset pick, though. That's definitely the solid number 2. But really, I think if you're going to vote for The Whale, you really should be voting for Batman. Because the prosthetic work there is better and it just has more looks. There's more makeup and hair in the Batman than there is in The Whale. But that's just my opinion. All right, next up we have Best Costume Design. So the nominees are Babylon, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I love seeing Mrs. Harris get in, but ma'am, there's no shot for you here. And when it comes down to my personal pick, this is a tough one for me because I absolutely adore the costumes and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Obviously, everything Jobu Tabaki wears is out of this world amazing, but even the ho-hum costuming work in Everything Everywhere beautifully sets up these characters, who they are. They tell a story with the costume design here. And I'm so glad that that didn't get overlooked. Then we have Elvis recreating so many iconic looks. And once again, being able to update those is often an overlooked difficulty in costume work. It's getting period pieces to look good now in the current modern viewpoint is a difficult task, and they did so amazingly well. Then we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Absolutely stunning. I mean, these costumes are right up there with that first film, which actually I think might even be better than the first film. Not to mention I know this might go with hair, but like the head dresses, oh, amazing. And then we have Babylon, which has some really stunning period piece costuming going on. So really great nominees for this category, I'd say. Ultimately, my pick on who should win is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I just think creating a world like that and being able to elevate your own amazing work from the first one is fantastic. But not even just the kind of Wakanda-esque costuming, the other world costumes when they're out in the world, even whether they're in the court scenes, whether they're strolling up to a college, whether they're in battle, everything is so amazing and they go through so many different varied styles. Plus, let's just be honest, y'all. Any costume department that puts Tenochtitlan in those little shorts, yeah, they deserve a costuming award. I said it. Now, on who I think will win, I do think it's between, personally, Black Panther Wakanda Forever and Elvis. I think those are the two that could still pull it out. I was actually shocked when I looked up the predictions by the numbers, the math, that Wakanda Forever is in the lead by the numbers with the math right now when it comes to this category, the weighted math that is done. Because I really didn't expect Wakanda Forever to really have that momentum. It doesn't feel like it has momentum. But ultimately, as much as I want to pick Wakanda Forever here, I'm trying to get stuff right. I'm trying to do it. So I'm going to go with Elvis being the winner. My final prediction in best costume design. Again, it's costumes that we're all so familiar with. There are just a ton of them that are put on huge display here. They look fantastic. So, I mean, again, and it's like a hand in hand, makeup and hairstyling and costume design. They don't always go together, but they're pretty solid 1-2 punch, I think, for Elvis in these categories. So Elvis is taking home costume design. See, I got some other Black Panther wins. Then we have here Elvis, and that is very true. It did lose to Everything Everywhere, which, fun times. But I think it's Elvis's award to lose regardless. So Elvis is looking pretty good early on here, at least by my predictions. So moving right along to best production design. Spoiler alert, this is another one I think Elvis is in heavy contention to snatch and take home. But the nominees for best production design are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fablemans. Avatar, what are you doing here? I know the first Avatar got the win in this category. I'm not really sure why Avatar The Way of Water even got nominated, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so we're just going to scoot Avatar to the side. Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you, but just not today. Now, on to who I think should win for Best Production Design. Oh, it's a tough one. These are all, the other four I do think are pretty great nominees with some really fantastic production. If I were voting out of any movie, it would have been Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. But I think that got pushed out and snubbed. So I'm sorry about it. But ultimately, I think who should win is Babylon. I think the production design in that film is fantastic. Other than the score, I think the production is really the highlight of that film by and large. Over the costumes, over like hair and makeup, even over a lot of the acting performances. Diego Calva, we're not talking about you, babe. But I think Babylon's fantastic production design. So I do think it should win this award. And when it comes down to who will win, well, I do think it comes down to Elvis and Babylon. I don't think All Quiet has enough. And The Fablemans, I mean, the production design is good in The Fablemans, but I just don't think it's really has it here. I think Babylon's the clear favorite, and I'm not going to buck that trend. So my pick on who will win Best Production Design is Babylon. Ooh, Kenzie. I know Kenzie loves that Avatar The Way of Water. She loves it. Yeah, I mean, he's here, except in Best Director, so I don't know what happened there, but what can you say? He's got that box office. He's got those dollar bills to console him for missing out on Best Director. All right, now speaking of James Cameron, let's talk about Best Visual Effects, shall we? Our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun Maverick. Once again, I think really solid nominees across the board, but who I think should win is Avatar The Way of Water. I mean, it takes visual effects to the next level, particularly when you watch those behind the scenes, and how they made this work is absolutely just stunning. The visual effects team is on a whole nother level with Avatar: The Way of Water. And, especially having a Marvel film right down the block that also dealt with water and was heavy CGI. Wakanda Forever, I love you as a film, but please. Even having you next to Avatar: The Way of Water, no, it's not going to work here. It's almost criminal to put the two next to each other when it comes to best visual effects. So my pick is Avatar: The Way of Water, and who will win? Well, y'all already know. This is one of those very few awards come Academy Awards night that we all have checked on our boxes. It's an easy point for everyone across the board. Who will win best visual effects? It's Avatar: The Way of Water. No contest. Now we have Tom who says he would go with Top Gun Maverick. Okay. It's a beautiful blend of practical and like CGI visual. So I can see it. I can get on board, but Top Gun don't have a chance. None of these other four nominees have a chance in this category. All right, next up, we have Best Documentary Feature. And our nominees are All That Breathes, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, Fire of Love, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny. So my pick on who should win is kind of the sentimental favorite, I think, in this category. I'm going to go with Fire of Love. It's a really unique way of telling a nature documentary. We get all the facts, but it's rooted in a personal tale. It's like the blending of two different documentary styles told in a fabulous way. I think it is wonderful work, a nice mixture of typical documentary storytelling with that archival footage. It's my pick on who should win. And early in the season, it looked like the favorite to take home this award. And I still think it's a clear number two. It is not going to shock me if Fire of Love holds on and finds a way to win this. But the momentum is with Navalny. After it won that PGA, it won the BAFTA. The tide has officially turned, and I think this is the one to beat come Oscars Sunday. Not only that, it's ultra relevant right now with world events currently, and it's more of a hot topic, and I think that's going to help as well. So for me, who will win documentary feature? Navalny. All right, next up we have Best International Feature. Our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina 1985, Close, EO, and The Quiet Girl. Now, this is a great category as well. Of course, so many of us wanted to see RRR here, and then India dashed our hopes and didn't nominate it. They didn't put it forth for nomination, so it's not happening. I loved EO. I love that little donkey. Another film that really dove in and delivered its message of like animal love, animal rights, and environmentalism in a unique way that works so well, and it put the narrative first. And I think that's just really special. And I love that so many of our nominees this year had these like animal centric plots, but it led with other components of storytelling, yet those messages weren't lost. So I loved EO. The Quiet Girl, once again, we have that Irish push. If I were to pick on who I think should win this award, as much as I did love EO, I have to give it to All Quiet on the Western Front. It actually was in my top 15 favorite films of the year. I did really enjoy it. I'm not a huge war person, but I'm a good anti-war person. And I found myself a little bit just like gobsmacked watching it and really admired the film as a whole, much more than I anticipating. I put it off actually for quite some time because I was like, ugh, we're doing this again with the war film. Okay. And then I ended up really enjoying it. So my pick on who should win is All Quiet on the Western Front. And I think it's common knowledge, at least, if one of these makes it into Best Picture, well then, probably got its little smaller category on lockdown. So my pick on who will win Best International Feature is All Quiet on the Western Front. Now, as solid as this one seems, I actually think this is one of those categories that could be primed for an upset because so many people are going to be putting their support behind it in something like Best Picture that maybe they want to spread the love and give it to one of their smaller faves down here in international feature that isn't nominated anywhere else. So I think this could be primed for an upset personally, but I'm gonna stay safe with it and stick with the Best Picture nominee. All right. Next up, we have Best Animated Feature Film, and our nominees are Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. I have to tell you, these are my 5 nominees. I was so excited because these were my 5 favorite animated films of the year, if we don't include Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, which obviously was not eligible for the Oscars. So I was hyped that Sea Beast made it and took up that 5th spot. But it obviously is not my pick. It's not going to win either. My pick was my 3rd favorite film of the year, a film that was criminally snubbed across the board in Best Original Score, Best Production Design, Best Adapted Screenplay, and for my money, Best Picture, and that is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I know some people don't love it as much. They don't understand the hype. I was floored by Pinocchio. I thought the work that Del Toro did here was just stunning. So it's my pick on who should win this award. And well, much like Best Visual Effects, this is a freebie. This is the free space on everyone's bingo card come Oscars night. It's won literally every award under the sun. It's one of the few categories and nominees that has won literally like every precursor it could possibly grab. And that's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So, who will win Best Animated Feature? GDT's Pinocchio. All right, next up we have Best Sound. And the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun Maverick. Oh, this is a tough category. Really fantastic nominees once again. So many categories I feel the Academy actually did get right. There's some key ones that they got horribly wrong. Best Actress, we'll get to you shortly, but this is one that I think they more or less got pretty right. These are some great nominees here. My pick on who should win, well, the fanboy is jumping out again. I'm sorry, not sorry. Uh, if only for that damn bat chase alone, we should know who should win this award, and that is the Batman. The sound work in this film is actually so stunning. The mixing that's done here and then the editing, fantastic. The way that the score is integrated into this film without overpowering but never taking a complete backseat is amazing. The voice mix into the full sound landscape is fantastic. And yeah, I mean, that damn bat chase scene in the Batmobile is blow your mind. Fantastic sound work. I mean, it's visceral sound work that completely worked for me. Not to mention, of course, all the punching and the other action components work really well as well. So my pick on who should win is the Batman. Unfortunately, once again, I think the Batman has no chance in hell at taking this award home, so it only wins the ChillyBoy Productions vote today. Now, when it comes down to who will win in Best Sound, I really think it comes down to All Quiet on the Western Front versus Top Gun Maverick. I think those are our 2 leaders in this category. Elvis, certainly, I would probably put in 3rd place. It takes that like musical spot that we love to see here, but I really don't think it has a chance at winning. I do think it's between All Quiet and Top Gun Maverick. Now, the Academy loves a war film in the sound categories. They love a war film, and the sound design is pretty fantastic. in All Quiet on the Western Front. However, I think Top Gun Maverick sound design is just a little bit better, honestly, in my own personal opinion. And it is the big movie of the night. I really think, obviously, a technical category is where Maverick is going to be able to snatch an award some point in the evening. And I do think it's still the favorite to win this award. And I think for good reason. I do think that Top Gun Maverick is taking home best sound. Though I wouldn't be shocked. I would not. This is not one that I'd bet my money on. I'm not going to throw the house out for Top Gun Maverick because if All Quiet on the Western Front is red come Sunday, I'll be like, yeah, sounds about right. But ultimately, my pick on who will win best sound is Top Gun Maverick. Tom, I agree. I agree. If I were picking a blockbuster that should have been in the Best Picture race, move aside Top Gun Maverick, move aside Avatar The Way of Water, it's the Batman for me. But clearly, uh, clearly I am not the consensus. We are the Batman lovers here with me and you, Tom. Jaden, I think you are too. Come on in. Unfortunately, Academy voters, they didn't love it so much. So there you go. All right. Now, usually an award that goes hand in hand with best sound, we have best editing, and it's another doozy. It's another really, really close one. So the nominees for best editing are The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. Well, I think it's a pretty easy choice on who I think should win this award, and that is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's very flashy, obviously, but just the light work that is done in the edits, those really fast cuts that they do in Everything Everywhere All at Once, when you stop them on the frames, the lighting that is done and blended is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it is really amazing. I was obviously blown away the first time I saw it, but even more blown away on subsequent watches with the editing in this film. It really is something special. And in my money, Everything Everywhere definitely should win this award. Now, will it win this award? We all know the statistic here. Winning Best Editing is not all that common if you don't at least get nominated for Best Sound. And EAAO missed out on a Best Sound nomination, whereas Top Gun Maverick did not. And I think that is the next really close one here. I do think Elvis is also in the conversation. These are obviously the three most flashy when it comes to editing. Everything Everywhere, very flashy. Elvis and Baz Luhrmann, very flashy. And Top Gun Maverick, I think, is an impressively edited film. But I really think ultimately it's really won most of the awards. I think it's going to shatter that precursor curse. I think everybody who's saying it shouldn't win when it comes to best sound, or it shouldn't win because it didn't get a best sound nomination, throw that out the book. That's gone this year, because I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is winning when it comes to best editing. So that is my final pick. Yeah, I mean, bloop, bloop, bloop. I agree. I mean, I also agree with this too. So EEAAO coming through with editing, and also editing, not always, but is a good precursor, obviously, when it comes to best picture. But that's not really an indicator here, because all of the films I just listed in contention are also in best picture. All right, next up, we have Best Cinematography, and our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. Now, I think there were two awards I was thinking Empire of Light could get nominated for. One was Best Original Score, because I loved that Best Original Score. Sorry, not sorry. I thought Empire of Light had an amazing score. And then obviously Best Cinematography. Yes, it's Deakins, and I know it's a safe pick, but my goodness, That damn film, like the cinematography literally snatched the rest of the movie up and carried it on its back. It was so damn stunning. All Quiet is another beautiful film. Elvis, I think, is stunning, and it is Baz Luhrmann all over it. And you know, I love Baz Luhrmann. He has it's. It feels like his film. We also would get a female winner in this category if Elvis does. We just got our first ever female winner at the ASC. So you know, I'm down with that. And then Tar, I'm glad you're here. Good job. Though I would have replaced Tar personally with the Batman once again. Look, the Batman stand is jumping out again, but the Batman was robbed. It should have been in this damn category. And Bardo is beautiful. I mean, what can you say? Talk about the script, talk about that damn pacing, but it's a beautiful film. Ultimately, who I think should win, what can I say? I don't know. Deacons knows how to get me. I would probably say who should win is Empire of Light. I don't know. I think it is gorgeous. I just think it's stunning. It tells the whole story. I mean, without the damn cinematography, that movie is who knows what. But that's my pick on who should win. Now, who will win, I think, comes down to All Quiet versus Elvis here. So we got the BAFTA winner versus the ASC winner. Now, All Quiet was not nominated at the ASC. So Elvis was not able to beat it head to head, though it won out the BAFTA, where it was heavily loved. And I think ultimately the BAFTA is going to be the bigger indicator here. So I am going to say All Quiet on the Western Front is my final pick on who will win Best Cinematography. Though that's another one. I'm not betting no houses here, y'all. I think this is really one that has me in limbo, but I've got to go with All Quiet on this one. All right. Next up, we have Adapted Screenplay. And our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Yeah, call me a hater if you want to, but I have no idea what Top Gun Maverick is doing in this category. The fact that it took Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio's place in this category still has me salty. I guess it got nominated because it is so much damn better than the first one. So the material it's quote unquote adapting, it improved upon in every single facet. I don't know, but good on you, I guess, Top Gun Maverick. But Lord have mercy. Please move along to the next because I'm not picking you for either category here. So when it comes down to who I think should win this award, it is easily Women Talking for me here. It just is a beautiful screenplay, a really intricate screenplay here that does so much that really elevates the entire film. Like this is a film that if the screenplay misses, the whole concept falls apart when it comes to Women Talking. So for me, easily, who should win is Women Talking. Even though it wasn't even my favorite film of this bunch, that's All Quiet on the Western Front is my favorite actual movie. But when it comes to the screenplay, it's easily Women Talking. Top Gun Maverick is easily one of the worst nominations of all time here. Top Gun has the screenplay of an NES game. Like, what even? Y'all, if you watch my reaction, I was shook when they said Top Gun Maverick. I was shooketh. I couldn't. Y'all, what a joke. Like, I'm sorry, a joke. It is what it is. I know Top Gun has a lot of fans, but what are we doing? Now, when it comes down to what I think will win adapted screenplay, I think it comes down to All Quiet on the Western Front once more versus Women Talking. Really, I think it's going to come down to how much were the BAFTAs actually a precursor this year for the Academy Awards? How big of a pool does the European branch have when it comes to pushing All Quiet on the Western Front into wins here. They weren't quite as successful getting it nominated over at the Academy. But really, what is that going to look like? Because obviously, Women Talking has the precursor love, it has the guild love. And it's just going to come down to if that's going to outweigh or if the BAFTAs is going to outweigh. And this is another one I think is pretty close between the two of them. I actually almost switched who I think is going to win earlier today. Oop, I almost swapped it. But ultimately, I think the front runner pulls through and takes it home. And I think Women Talking will win Best Adapted Screenplay. It obviously has love because although it only showed up in 2 categories, one of its 2 categories is freaking Best Picture. So it has support here. And I think it's going to manifest in making sure it wins this Best Adapted Screenplay award. I mean, look, there is a lot that should have been. I can't. That was the shock of the night for me when it came to what the F moments on Oscar morning. And them Top Gun Maverick fans, they are defending that nomination tooth and nail on the damn Twitter, y'all. But not for me. Not for me. All right, next up we have Best Original Screenplay, and the nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. Now, look, I think Daniel's one of them. Don't quote me. Daniel, don't get mad if you aren't one of them. I know there's a lot of you out there that love you some The Fabelmans and think it's great. I think this screenplay is not good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think the screenplay on The Fabelmans is actually very good. So that is last place here. Low key, don't even think it should be nominated, but I'm not surprised by its nomination. That's where The Fabelmans sits. I'm not for me, not for me. So it's certainly not being the pick here in either category in my book. What I think should win actually comes down to the 2 that are in contention to win this sucker. It really comes down to The Banshees of Inisherin and Everything Everywhere All at Once. And on who I think should win, it really flip-flops, actually. I love that Banshee script. I think it is so amazing, balancing the wit and the humor with this really macabre, dark, tragic story that hits you in the feels like that. It's a really masterclass in writing a dark comedy. Plus, I have to say, I want EEAAO to win so many of these awards, but I would love to see Martin McDonagh take one home. He deserves a damn screenplay award in his career. He deserves an Oscar. So in my sentimental should win, that really plays a factor. But in saying that, Everything Everywhere was my favorite film of the year. It is one of the most inventive, insane screenplays. The fact that they were able to make this screenplay work as a cohesive work is mind-blowing. The multiverse trumping like any other multiverse we've ever seen is amazing. And much like Banshees of Inisherin, it made me laugh. It entertained me. I thought it was really funny. I got some of the biggest laughs out of me of the entire year. But it's also so heartfelt and genuine and sincere. So it's tough. It's really, really tough for me personally on who I think should win this award. But ultimately, I went with the more unique choice over the dialogue on this one. I went with the story itself. And I think who should win is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It just has that extra little flair. I don't think the dialogue is as strong here, but I think the overall story is stronger for me personally. So that's why I pick EEAAO. And y'all, this is probably the toughest, well, maybe not the toughest, but like top 3 toughest awards for me to predict. I think it is so close between Banshees and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Unfortunately, Martin McDonagh has been in this place before where he came in looking like he should be the favorite to win and got passed up by a little bit more of a wacky conceptual script down the line. And I think it's going to happen to Martin McDonagh again. I think Martin McDonagh's about to lose out once more. So my final prediction on who will win Best Original Screenplay is Everything Everywhere All at Once. In saying this, in hindsight 2020 mode, as long as Everything Everywhere secures obviously Best Picture and I would say Best Director, I would be elated if Banshees of Inisherin won for Best Screenplay. But if Everything Everywhere loses this award, I don't think it's honestly. I don't think the top two are in danger. So we'll see. But I would love to see Martin get some love here and take this home. So I'm really torn, and I love them both. All right. Next up, we have actor in a supporting role. So we have Brendan Gleeson from The Banshees of Inisherin, Brian Tyree Henry from Causeway, Judd Hirsch from The Fablemans, Barry Keoghan in The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ki Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once. No disrespect to any of the other nominees, but this is a clear who should win for me. It's Ki Kwan. I mean, he is absolutely amazing in this film. He is the heart of Everything Everywhere All at Once. And in so many ways, if his performance doesn't work, so much of what we love here doesn't work either. So easily my pick. And it's not even close. So Ki Kwan, who should win this award, who will win this award, Ki Kwan. Yes, he lost the BAFTA to Barry Keoghan, but he's won everywhere else. So he's won all the other precursors. His speeches have been amazing. His love has been amazing. He has an amazing story that the Academy just loves and will eat up all the way to the win. So, who will win Best Supporting Actor? One of the easy awards of the evening, and quite literally the only easy prediction for the acting categories this year. Ki Kwan wins Best Supporting Actor. Now, the toughest, the most insane acting category of the year, we have Best Supporting Actress. Whew. And our nominees for Supporting Actress are Angela Bassett in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow from The Whale, Carrie Condon in The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, when it comes to who I think should win, Jamie Lee, girl, I don't know why you're here. I love Everything Everywhere All at Once, all around. I do think Jamie Lee is good. She's fun. It's a good performance, but ma'am, step to the side and let Dolly De Leon in the door. What are we doing here? But, she got in. So good on you, girl. I've loved her speeches as well. It's nice to see her get recognition, blah, blah, blah. But her spot should have been Dolly De Leon. Let's just be very clear. From the rest of them, I loved all four performances. So it's so hard for me to pick. I think Angela Bassett is so fantastic in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Hong Chow is stunning in The Whale. And she's given so many amazing performances that it is almost like a lifetime achievement. She's right up there, right beneath the likes of Angela and Jamie Lee. Carrie Condon, absolutely amazing. What a stunning performance from her. And then Stephanie Hsu, once more, it's so hard with Everything Everywhere. I'm so glad it won the SAG for Ensemble, because you look at each individual part and she's another part of the heart of this film. If this had been Aquafina, this film would have not had near the resonance it had. She is amazing. Ultimately, who I think should win comes down to Angela Bassett or Stephanie Hsu for me personally, just in my style. And I think who should win is Miss Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She was amazing in the first film. She just didn't get much time to shine. And here in this second one, absolutely stunning. She delivered exactly what needed to be delivered. And if I were voting, I'd be voting for Miss Bassett. Now, when it comes down to who will win, well, I think we all, unfortunately, can safely take Hong Chow out of the mix. I don't think this is her year. Unfortunately, I also don't think this is Stephanie Shu's year, but if she keeps turning in performances like this one, Stephanie will be back once more. Now, what do? We have Angela Bassett, who has the Golden Globe, and she has the Critics' Choice win. She also got some fun below the lines, though not as many when it comes to like Critics' Choice and such. We have Carrie Condon, who popped up and snatched that BAFTA. But as we saw, we got like Barry Keoghan. We got a lot of early love for the Banshees of Inisherin over there. Is it a one-off? And then we got Jamie Lee Curtis, who popped up and won the SAG Award. Obviously has huge support from the actors here. And maybe she is the one that has the lifetime achievement, not Angela Bassett. Ooh. Uh, Now, I thought Angela had really fallen by the wayside, so I was shocked today as I kind of like, seeing how the lay of the land was going. And she still has a lot of people predicting Angela Bassett to take home this award, even though she has felt dead in the water to me. And many are really correlating her run and her path to victory back to Regina King. Now, it's not apples to apples, but it's the closest we have of somebody who went on, she won early, came out as the favorite, and then just died. Got no love at BAFTA, even missed getting nominated at these other ceremonies. Lost, didn't win the SAG, and still found a way to win that Oscar. So can Angela Bassett do the same thing? I'm not sure. Then we have Carrie Condon. The BAFTA support is huge, but will people think it's enough? Can she overcome these lifetime achievement folks that surround her? And then we have Jamie Lee Curtis, who, even as I'm reading these predictions, people are saying she's my pick, she's amazing, this, that, and the third. And I don't know what movie people watched. Because I'm still stunned that she won the SAG and that she is available. If Angela Bassett had just secured that SAG award, I think this is a done deal in her favor. But looking at trends, BAFTA has pushed forward a little bit more recently than SAG when BAFTA and SAG are split, which is not all that often with the supporting actress category, particularly when it like maintains all of them being in supporting, because we've had like Alicia Vikander who was pushed in lead before. I'm really torn, but honestly, I think the EEAO love might split a little bit, and maybe even Angela Bassett and Jamie Lee Curtis split a little bit. I was initially inclined to just do it and pick Jamie Lee Curtis to win this freaking award, because this narrative I've been seeing around her has been absolutely insane. And maybe she rides this thing all the way to the end and makes a fool out of all of us. I don't know. But I just couldn't get myself to do that. And ultimately, I'm picking who will win actress in a supporting role, Carrie Condon. I'm not confident in that choice at all. Part of my reluctance with Angela itself is it is a comic book film in comparison to how Regina won a few years ago in a drama. So we already have like, she has so many things to fight against, and the biggest one possibly being the movie she's in just not getting the respect. It's not as well loved. Maybe if Wakanda Forever had snuck into Best Picture, Angela would be more open. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be sad because I do really want Angela to take this sucker home. But I think it's going to be Carrie Condon winning Best Supporting Actress. And as you can see, I'm just so confident about that. All right, moving on to actor in a leading role. Oh, well, we've got a Carrie Condon stan. Tom is confident that Angela is going to hold strong. I hope you're right, Tom. I hope my prediction is wrong and Angela does the damn thing. All right, actor in a leading role. Nominees are Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell in The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser from The Whale, Paul Mescal in After Sun, and Bill Nye in Living. Ooh, what a category. Now, I personally would have loved to see Diego Calva get some love and sneak his way in here. Give us a little bit of color in this sea of white as it comes to the best lead actor. But when it comes to these nominees, I do love Brendan Fraser in The Whale. I know a lot of people are not a fan of The Whale, and some people think it's not a great performance. I think it's a fantastic performance. But for me, it's actually a pretty easy and clear cut who should win in this category. I think it's Colin Farrell. This is just such an amazing performance. We're always going on and on about like subdued performance with nuance and talk about a lifetime achievement here. Colin Farrell has been giving years upon years upon years of stellar performances. Just last year alone, he gave 3 absolutely amazing performances that were all completely different from one another. And it's just an amazing body of work. I don't know why they're not trying to push this lifetime achievement narrative for Colin Farrell harder. And I think it's really cost him his chance at winning this award because I don't think he's going to win. He had early momentum to maybe give it a shot, but ultimately, he's who I think should win. It's a role unlike really many I've ever seen him do. It's amazing. I think it is the best, most well-rounded performance of the bunch. So my pick on who should win is Colin Farrell from The Banshees of Inisherin. Jaden, I'm glad you agree. Thanks for coming, Tom. I appreciate the support. Have a safe drive. And now, who I think will win this award. We all know. I think Colin Farrell, he's third. He has like a maybe outside chance of winning, but I don't think it's going to happen for him. I think we all know it's between Austin Butler and Brendan Fraser. This is a tough one. I think this is the nail biter. Austin Butler felt like he had this thing in the bag. And then the SAG came and blew this the F up and gave it to Brendan Fraser and threw him solidly back into this race. So what do? The Academy loves both of these narratives. We have the comeback kid. We have the comeback of a man who had a very public falling out with Hollywood. We've gone through the Me Too movement, and he's one of the few male stories that has really gotten light in this whole discussion. And, you know, they love a man in a prosthetic with a very boisterous type of performance. And that is really what Brendan Fraser is bringing to the table. Now we have Austin Butler, a new star, a young, hot star on the rise. But obviously, his biggest plus here, he's playing a musician in a biopic. He's playing a real person. And Lord knows, the Academy cannot pass up a damn biopic. And in recent years, they cannot pass up a performance in a biopic about a singer. I mean, we've just had so many singers winning this award. If we include Tammy Faye as a singer, I mean, it's just been running rampant. They love them a good singer, much more, or not a good singer. They love them a good biopic performance. Most of the times, a whole lot more than they love an original character. And I think that's what's really hurting all these other nominees, to be honest, when it comes outside of Austin Butler. He's playing a beloved character. He went through the physical transformations, and yeah, I mean, he's in the era that so many of these voters love. When it comes down to who I think will win, my heart wants Brendan Fraser to win. Like, as much as I want Colin Farrell to win, when it comes down to the two that could win, I'm 100% pulling for Brendan Fraser. I'm sorry, Kenzie. I know you've been here, girl. I'm sorry, girl. But I really want Brendan to beat Austin at the awards. It is what it is. But I'm doing predictions here. And I have to go with my heart. I have to go with who I think they are actually going to award. That biopic bias is just so strong, and he's won so many of the big ones. I think Austin Butler is winning actor in a leading role. Now we move along to Best Actress in a Leading Role. Another award that looked like it was all but done until the SAG came and blew it wide open. So let's take a look at the nominees. We have Kate Blanchett from Tar, Ana de Armas from Blonde, Andrea Riseborough from To Leslie, Michelle Williams from The Fablemans, and Michelle Yao from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Ooh, so yes, this is also why I ultimately went with Austin Butler as well. Is BAFTA has had the pool recently compared to the SAG Awards in lead actor, so I think Austin has it. Now this category, Under the Armas, Why Are You Here? I know a lot of people are like, oh, the movie's not good, but she's good in it. No, she's not. I'm sorry. I love Ana de Armas. I do. I think she's beautiful. She's talented. She's stunning. Yes, Latina. No, her being in here, please. What was that performance? I don't too much know, but if you ask me, Ana de Armas is the one who took Viola Davis's spot here specifically. And yeah, we can even say Andrea Riseborough took Danielle Deadweiler. I'm just going to say it. Both of them should have been. Well, no, let me actually take that back because I don't think Michelle Williams should be here either. Okay. Yeah, no, this category is a whole mess from top to bottom. Really, the only ones that they got right were Kate Blanchett and Michelle Yeoh. Those are the two who deserve to be here. So at least I guess, thankfully, those are the two going head to head for the win. Now, who I think should win this award? Well, it's Michelle Yeoh for me. I'm sorry, not sorry. What I just think her performance is the performance. Like when you look at what do you want out of an Academy Award winning performance, she's got the emotion. She has the sincerity here. She has the comedy down, and she's able to fluctuate between all of this and turn a character that very easily could be so unlikable into this really empathetic being in this film. Not to mention the physicality of this award. No, she didn't gain 50 pounds for the award or lose 100 pounds or whatever that they praise male actors so often for, but she brings a physicality that literally no other nominee could do. Like nobody else in this category, I think, could do this role of Evelyn. Never mind the fact that obviously it's cater made to her being an Asian immigrant mother. You could change the nationality or the country they're from. And I think Kate Blanchett would do a fabulous job, but I don't think she could do the job here. Now, and that's why I really think. Plus, obviously, it's time, y'all. I know we don't want to be awarding based on race, blah, 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 blah. Halle Berry needs company. And I'm tired. Okay, I need, in a year that they snubbed so many actors and actresses of color, I need redemption, and I don't think it's going to come by way of Angela Bassett. We do get Ki Hoi Kwan, but women in leading roles, women of color in leading roles, deserve wins. And Academy, it's time you start really evaluating because women of color in these leading roles just aren't getting the respect they deserve. And I think Evelyn in Everything Everywhere All at Once is the perfect role to do so. As I said, it has literally everything you want from a great performance. Now, who do I think will win? Oh, oh this one. This one's the one that's going to keep me up at night as well. So obviously, Kate Blanchett, she got the BAFTA. She got the Golden Globe in drama. And she got the Critics' Choice Award. Michelle Yeoh got the Golden Globe, but in comedy or musical. However, she got the SAG Award, which really kind of pushed things into more open territory. The big thing is, how much is the Everything Everywhere All at Once love going to push Michelle here? She definitely has the sympathetic wave going for her, I think, right now. This, once again, she also has kind of a comeback story. It's not as big as Brendan Fraser, it's not as big as Ki Hoi Kwan, but it is still somewhat of a comeback story over these past few years. Whereas Kate Blanchett, I mean, gets nominated very frequently. she will be back once more. Another reason in my should win, I do think it should be Michelle Yeoh. I know these are factors that people don't like to bring into account, but Kate is going to have another shot at this. Let's just face it. She's going to be back. She'll have another shot at the third. I don't know if Michelle Yeoh will get this kind of role and never have a chance again to win Best Actress. So we'll see. But will these Oscars, will the Academy members vote with that sentimentality at all? We'll see. I don't know, but I'm just going on gut here because I think statistically, Kate Blanchett is still the favorite to win when it comes to just pure numbers. So I'm just going with the gut feeling. After that SAG, there was this huge outburst of momentum. Seeing the love for EEAAO push Jamie Lee Curtis like it did, and that Lifetime Award, seeing the love for Jamie Lee Curtis, and in turn, Jamie Lee Curtis has basically used her platform to champion and campaign for Michelle Yeoh. I'm a ride the wave. I'm a ride the wave. And ultimately, I'm going to say who will win actress in a leading role is Michelle Yeoh from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Though I won't be shocked if it does ultimately pan out to still be Kate Blanchett. I'll be very sad though, but I won't be shocked. Hi, Rachel. Thanks so much for joining. Thanks so much for dropping in. You're here for the big ones, the final couple of categories, starting with Best Directing. And our nominees are Martin McDonagh in The Banshees of Inisherin, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert in Everything Everywhere All at Once, Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans, and Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness. Well, this one once felt like it was a done deal, but for Steven Spielberg, then post Golden Globes, that started to fade, and I think it's become a done deal. But for the duo known as the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. My pick on who should win is the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Under lesser directors, I think any other, let's not say lesser, any other directors wouldn't have made this film. They wouldn't have done this crazy out there film known as Everything Everywhere All at Once. So the rest of these directors are all stunning, beautiful work. But for me, it's the Daniels. Who do I think will win? Well, the ones who won the Directors Guild, the ones who have been on a roll. They lost at BAFTA, but they lost to a director who's not even nominated at the Oscars. So that's kind of a wash when it comes down to it. The BAFTAs, well, they were all on board that all quiet train. I think the Daniels have this one. So my pick on who will win Best Director, Daniel Kwan, Daniel Scheinert, Everything Everywhere All at Once. And finally, the big award, the top prize of the evening, Best Picture. Our nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Well, this felt like maybe it could be interesting, particularly after the Golden Globes, where The Fabelmans and The Banshees of Inisherin took down Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, I guess technically Banshees took it down. Then we got to the BAFTAs, where All Quiet on the Western Front just dominated and took home Best Film. But really, after the Producers Guild, it won the Directors Guild, it won at the Writers Guild, it won the SAG for Ensemble, it also won the Critics' Choice Award. It literally did the Guild sweep. It's on a roll. It feels pretty inevitable at this point. Who will win is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think if you're picking anything else at this point, it's out of hope and desperation. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's just a simple fact. If you're actually doing predictions, you have to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think. And for good reason. Because in my personal opinion, who should win? Everything Everywhere All at Once. This honestly is going to be one of my favorite wins of all time. If EEAAO is able to go all the way, secure that win we think it is going to get. But wow, what a movie. It was my favorite film of 2022. Number one, and it's been some time since my favorite film has a shot at actually winning Best Picture. Now, my favorite film has been nominated for Best Picture, but really didn't have a shot at taking it home. Oh, so I'm just so excited to see that. And I think it's the best choice. Honestly, even if you're a fan of one of those other movies, I would probably be rooting for Everything Everywhere All at Once, because if it loses this award, particularly to something like The Banshees of Inisherin, I think there's going to be a heavy backlash. I think people are really going to view this as like oh, okay, we're awarding that. Now, look, The Banshees of Inisherin is my number 2 pick here. It's in my top 5. I just think the optics of a film like that beating out, a wacky, crazy film like EEAO that is so beloved won't look great. So if I were Academy voters, if only to save my own ass, I probably would be putting that high on my list. But I do think ultimately it's going to win. Once it won that PGA, once it won the Producers Guild, which is also preferential ballot, that was Top Gun Maverick's holdout. Y'all were holding it. You were holding and begging for Top Gun because you said it's going to be high up on more people's lists, whereas Everything Everywhere is a lot more divisive. Well, the preferential ballot there proved otherwise. So my pick, who will win, is who should win. Best Picture, Everything Everywhere, all at once. So we'll see. Will I be sitting here feeling heartbreak on Sunday like Nicole Kidman? Or will other people's heartbreak feel good to me in a place like this come Sunday evening? It's all yet to be seen. What I do know, as I said at the top of this live stream, one of the craziest Oscar ceremonies, one of the most unpredictable Oscar ceremonies heading in, because the last couple of years, yeah, we had like one or two that could take it, but I think I missed like one or two last year. I think I literally missed one award last year that I got wrong in my predictions. And it's been like that, I think, for the last couple of years. It's felt almost inevitable. So even though Best Picture does kind of feel pretty inevitable at this point in the race, all of these other, particularly these acting categories, are so wide open that at the end of the day, it's just a whole lot of fun. And please remember, you're not winning. I'm not winning. Fans of these other people aren't winning. You're watching famous rich people accept awards at the end of the day. There's no need to get mean. There's no need to get vicious. We're all just spectators, hopefully enjoying the ride. And if you're enjoying the ride, there's no need to go on the offensive and attack people who are happy for people's wins or excited for other nominees winning that you didn't like. We're all just here to have a good time and enjoy the spectacle of it all, damn it. Sit back and be cool. Be chill. The message from ChillyBoy Productions. Hopefully no bizarre incident. Well, we need at least one kind of bizarre incident, don't we? No. Look, Chris Rock, shut your mouth. That's what I'm going to end this on. Chris Rock, stop running your damn mouth. How about that? Let's get over the slap and move on with it. And that starts with Chris Rock, stop telling jokes. Go into obscurity, please, because you're making me want to slap you too. So I'll just leave on that note. But that was it. That was my live stream. Those were my predictions for all 23 awards come Academy Awards Sunday. We are just days away. Voting is officially closed. It ended tonight, and now they just tally them up, and all we have to do is wait and see for the big night, the most exciting night in a film fan's year. So please leave all of your predictions. If you're watching on playback, leave those predictions in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. Obviously, we're going to be talking all things Oscars for the entire week, probably leading up to this thing. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.